Baltimore slid on a 12-year-old boy. A kid, not too long ago, was a toddler. And there's so many layers of accountability, so many layers of responsibility. Starting with one, the local municipality, the city of Baltimore. With the level of surveillance that's had today, there's no way the city of Baltimore is unaware or illiterate to how guns are making their way into that city and flooding the streets and getting to these kids. That's fraud. That's fallacy. I don't agree with this boy's grandmother or his mother, partially, because at the end of the day, at 12, you still know right from wrong. You know the basics. You still have a spirit. Still got a conscience. So yes, he was influenced to commit criminal activity and make reckless decisions, worthless decisions, senseless decisions. But it was still up to him at the end of the day to do it or not. And he knew he didn't have to do it. But there's a consequence to that. Bullying. Still having to see those kids every day. Having to deal with that constant pressure. That constant coercion. But that's adjacent to the third layer. Parents, the family. Getting him up out that environment. Being engaged. Fully interactive in his social life and social media life. So it's a triad, a triangle, 3 layers of responsibility and accountability. But all this sliding is worthless. Sliding ain't gonna get you to take over the city. Sliding ain't gonna get you no money. Sliding ain't gonna get your family out of poverty. Sliding is just a gimmick. It's an illusion. Sliding just creates a false identity and a character. But it don't give you any identity, any worth. You don't get no worth. You don't get no value out of sliding. So now it's to the point where Black American traditions and customs is done. It's over with. No more barbecues, birthdays, baby showers, indoors, outdoors, small crowds, large crowds, because switches and automatic weapons will show up. Because these moms, dads, uncles, aunties, now we see grandparents don't know what's going on with their son, daughter, cousin, niece, nephew, grandson, granddaughter. And it's a lose-lose. Either they in a fatal conflict or they associated and running around with people that they call friends that's into fatal conflicts. And why everybody think it's just another day, another celebration, another gathering, another chance to bond. You got another group of kids, teenagers, surveilling your son, daughter, cousin, niece, nephew, grandson, granddaughter through social media. Because everybody want to show where they at and what they doing. And if the tension is high enough, guess who's showing up to your gathering? Guess who's showing up to the gathering? And guess what they showing up to do? Shoot. They know who the target is. But at the same time, casualties are casualties. They want to do whatever to hurt the person, the kid. Another kid wants to do whatever to hurt another kid. But there is no worth, there is no value in sliding. You got to be accountable for your friends, and you got to be accountable for yourself. The streets got the same ending. Dead or in jail, prison. I don't know why these teenagers just keep trying to rewrite the ending. That's how it ends. So sliding for what? So you could be next up. They slid down on a 12-year-old. And the city's being fraudulent. And living in a fallacy. As if they unaware of what's going on socially amongst the kids. What's going on social media-wise in that city amongst the kids. Adult intervention is mandatory. Mitigation, conflict resolution, mandatory. Genocide is immoral. But this sliding is not going to bring no value. Nobody is going to take over a city sliding. Because that persistent, that constant sliding down is only going to make everybody extinct. So is that the agenda of Baltimore? They just allowing teenagers to go extinct by way of homicide, genocide. And because of all this economic turmoil, the youth, the lives of the youth don't matter. That's the uncivilized. Baltimore is being led by the uncivilized. But for a 12-year-old boy to get shot and killed, and for these teenage kids to be allowing all this music and all this illusion to influence y'all to have a little adolescent boy do what y'all didn't have no heart to do your damn self. And it cost him his life. But everybody got a decision. But these customs, these gatherings, these traditions, it's coming to an end. You can say it's over.